at the beginning of the COP21, there was hope, but not huge amount of expectation. We were all very pleasantly surprised to see how the carbon market agenda and the whole use of market mechanisms came about in the Paris Agreement. So coming out of Paris, we also recognized, and we are doing a lot of work on that as well, that non-state actors are increasingly going to have to become part of the solution and are stepping up to do so.
So it was this sort of magic moment where everything came together, and all of a sudden everybody was repeating the obvious, that pricing carbon is the most elegant way to reduce CO2, that carbon markets add flexibility to achieve the INDCs, and that they allow for plentiful and creative cooperation. The longer I was listening, I thought, what a miracle we have been handed by the Paris Agreement, the fact that politicians made a commitment to markets.
I'd like to think of moving this momentum from Paris to Zurich. And I think if we can look back after the 4 days and say, okay, we have sustained the momentum, we have even, come to new conclusions how we want to move forward and turn this into concrete action, and I think then we have achieved the objectives.
We simply cannot afford using non-efficient tools if we are committed to achieve and to realize this objective. And what means in climate change efficient tools? That means, of course, carbon pricing.
We believe that trade policy should be an enabler for creating a level playing field. We do advocate for having revenues from carbon pricing going, at least partly, to initiatives contributing to the transition. And we also need consistency between the different policy fields, between the energy policy, the climate policy, but also building standards. We need to accelerate the pace of the transition, and we have solutions. We have products which are ready to be deployed, and in order to accelerate that move, we really need your support, and we really need carbon pricing to be deployed.
And I think the private sector took great heart by the dialogue that was undertaken with them, which was very new for a COP, and the Lima Paris Action Agenda really did drive an energy into the whole proceedings. We need to be able to respond to the call that businesses are shouting out, really, in terms of the importance of carbon pricing. And as we see many companies adopting it in their decision making, that really should inspire us to bring together the public sector and the private sector.
Very simply put, carbon pricing works because it works to drive innovation, and it has a role in terms of reducing the carbon intensity of the industry. Now, I guess the challenge is for all of us to help with the design and implementation, and as the World Bank Group, we are ready to help our client countries to do that.